Could you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that everyone can hear. And if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Anthony Ruben Gonzalez Jr.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Mr. Gonzalez, how old are you currently?
38. Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
What branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
And you stated that was for 6 years?
Yes.
Now I want to talk to you about October 19th of 2023. Do you recall that day?
I did.
What address were you living at on that day?
6.
Okay. Are you able to see that up on the screen?
Okay.
Do you see your residence on safety number 2?
I do.
All right, is that where my pen is pointing?
Yes.
And so on that day and the evening time, do you recall what you were doing?
At the time of what happened, I was taking a nap at the time.
Okay. And while you were taking a nap, did someone come and make contact with you?
Yes, my wife.
Okay. And do you know where your children were at this time?
At the time, no. When she woke me up, she told me that they were in front of the house, but that somebody had yelled at them to go inside, which is what led me to kind of go look and see what was going on.
All right. And so at that time, did you decide to exit your home?
I did.
And did you see anything out of the ordinary when you exited your home?
So immediately upon exiting my front door, heard gunshots. But I looked, there was 2 police vehicles on Alta Puerta right inside that cul-de-sac. And there was an officer that was on the ground that I could see, the 2 of them.
Okay. When you observed the officers down, did you call anyone?
I did. I immediately called 911.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State Exhibit number 18. Can you take a look at that for me?
Mhm.
And if I pull it out of its envelope, do you recognize this?
Yes.
Okay. Have you listened to the contents on State Exhibit number 18?
Yes.
Okay. And is it a fair and accurate depiction of the call that you made to 911 on the offense?
It is.
Okay. And to your knowledge, has it been changed in any way?
No.
Your Honor, at this time, I'm tendering State's Exhibit number 18 to defense and offering the same.
Judge, we repeat it, we have no objections.
All right, state's exhibit number 18 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish.
Granted.
One, yeah, do you need police, fire, or EMS?
Yeah, I've got a cop down shot in front of my house. I'm at 6230 Alta. across the street from my house.
How is he injured?
He looks like he was hit in the ankle.
Is he on the floor? Can you see him?
Yes, ma'am. He was laying on the behind his car. He's still being shot at. My neighbor, I believe, has an AR-15. So that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm used to. I'm prior military.
Do you have a description of the neighbor?
He is about 5'8", shaved head, Hispanic male.
Do you have a clothing description?
No, he's flying from inside his house.
What is his house? His address?
I don't know his address, ma'am.
You said the officer was laying on the floor behind his vehicle, correct?
Yes, ma'am. He's laying behind his vehicle.
Any other officers that you can tell that are injured, sir?
There's another officer over in his. He is over in his.
Get back here, baby.
The other officer behind his. I'm sorry. He was in the yard of the next door house.
Is your neighbor next door across from you? Where at?
They're across the street from me, catty corner.
Hold on, let me pull up the map. Is he the corner house?
Give me a second, man. I'm trying to see.
They're already responding. Okay, so trying to figure out where this guy is located at.
Yeah, this guy and the vehicle that he's in is a I'm not sure if he's in the home, but he's got a road vehicle.
Going on, sir?
I'll put up my shoes.
Is this house the one with the brown painting on top of it and the brick walls at the bottom? Cabin house?
And all these houses right here are brick, ma'am. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, if Caddy Corner, if you like directed interview, it would probably be 6'6".
There's another officer over here in front of my house.
So there's 2 officers there?
There's 3 now. I've got a third one in front of there's 4 now, I'm sorry.
And they're all being shot at?
No, so I've got one of them is, suppressing fire. These other 2 guys are getting ready right now. So they're here, they're on things.
What is your name?
My name is Anthony Gonzalez.
This is your number, Anthony, the 5 one.
Okay. And then Mr. Gonzalez, was your home equipped with Ring doorbell cameras at the time that this occurred?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna show you State's Exhibit number 19. Do you recognize this disc?
Yes.
Okay, and did you place an identifying mark on it when you watched it?
I did my initials.
Okay, and did you watch it prior to taking the stand today?
I did.
And was it a fair and accurate depiction of the events as they unfolded on the offense stand?
Yes, ma'am.
And to your knowledge, have they been altered in any way?
No.
Okay. At this time, I'm tendering State's Exhibit number 19 to defense and offering the stand.
Did we review these? We have no objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 19 is admitted without objection.
Permission to publish.
Granted.
Now, when you first exited your home, can you describe to the jury the clothing that you were wearing?
Jeans.
Okay, and then, I'm assuming that's because you were taking a nap, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay, and then you enter your home, and then when you were inside, did you do anything inside while you were on the phone with 911?
I had my wife. We had about, I think it was 5 or 6 kids, to include ours that came into our home. So had them all go to my bedroom, which is kind of the furthest point to the back of the house, away from gunfire. I went and looked for, as you can hear in the phone call, shirt, shoes, and kind of went back outside just to make sure, still able to relay information as best as I could.
Okay, and in state exhibit number 18, we can hear some voices in the background. Were those your wife and the children that were in your home?
Yes.
Okay. And so after when you heard the rounds going off, you said that your prior military experience kind of led you to believe that a certain type of firearm was being used. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what type was that?
AR-15.
Okay. And after you observed that second officer laying in the yard, what were you feeling at that point in time?
Well, first concern was the kids, getting the kids again away from everything. Part of me felt like, what can I do to provide aid? Also thinking, nothing on me in the sense of weaponry, anything, PPE or, a vest, anything. But how else can I see what's going on? So did end up going to my second floor as well, because from my view, I have a tree in my yard that kind of blocks some of the view. So go to the second floor and I can look out a window and I've got a good view of everything. So.
Okay. And then when you entered the home and you went to that window with the view, did you obtain anything for your protection?
I did. I grabbed my rifle.
Okay. And at that point, did you make any decision regarding acts that you may have had to take?
I did.
Okay, and what was that?
Just thinking, knowing that, people are being fired at, if I was to see the shooter, I would shoot back. I'd, make that decision.
Okay. And I guess, did you feel in fear at that time?
No.
Okay. But for the officer's safety and did you observe any other officers that were arriving?
So from there, yeah, I saw more cars pulling up.
Okay.
My house sits at the top of the hill, so I could see them coming up the street. It's a good view, vantage point. So.
Okay. And so I guess from where the shooting was coming from, in your opinion, were the officers kind of like at a disadvantage, like the officers that were arriving on scene just responding to give aid?
They could be, because they're at ground level.
Okay.
I saw rounds ricochet off of his home, of the shooter's home, and around the second story window. So to me, you've always got a better advantage when you got the high ground. So.
And so, just given all of that information, is that why you felt that, the shooter was going to exit, that you may have had to take a shot at? Now I'm gonna publish to the jury cases of information. Mr. Costas, now regarding the cameras that are affixed to your home, how many different angles are there?
There should be 4.
Okay, but at this time, are they motion activated or?
They're motion activated.
And in the front, are there like 3 different views?
There is. I've got one at the front door, 2 right over the front porch area, and then one at the corner of the house.
Okay. And then regarding on the 911 call that we heard, you were unable to provide like a street number. But when the officers arrived at your residence to provide backup, was there some type of motor vehicle in front of the suspect's home that you were able to relay to police?
There was.
Okay, what kind of motor vehicle was that?
It was a Chevy Trailblazer.
Okay, and was there something significant or identifying on that Chevy that made it stand out?
The lift gate was open.
Okay. And then after the scene was kind of controlled, I would see you kind of walking towards the end, on the stage exhibit. What were you doing at that time?
So when I first left my home, approached the nearest officer that was there, just to kind of say, hey, I've got kids here in the house, and if I could start taking them, to their homes, because at that point, took the suspect into custody. So that last video showed me walking back from walking one of the kids home.
And so we saw in the stage exhibit on the ring doorbell that there was a good amount of kids in your home. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Do you recall exactly how many?
I think it was 5 or 6.
Okay, and were those including your children and other children that live in the neighborhood?
Yes.
We pass the lines.
Defense.
Yes, Judge, thank you. Mr. Casares, my name is Jonathan Alvarado. I'm one of Jesse's attorneys. If you can't hear me or need me to rephrase me, just let me know.
Very good.
Okay, so you may have said, and I may have missed it, but when did you move into this neighborhood?
We moved in 2020, I believe is what it was.
Okay, and in your time living in the neighborhood, how many, would you interact with Jesse often, not often? How would you describe that?
I can say maybe a handful of times.
So you weren't friends with him necessarily.
No, I wouldn't say friend, no.
Okay. Are you aware that Jesse had some friends in the neighborhood, some neighbors as well? Are you aware of that?
I assume so, but I can't tell you who.
Okay. Now, you said you're prior military, correct?
Right.
And in 911 call, you mentioned at one point that the officers are laying suppressing fire on the residents, correct? You gotta give a verbal answer for the court reporter.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Okay. So were you able to discern the difference in the shots being fired from the residents, that being Jesse, and then the shots being returned by the officers?
So I did see a few rounds skip off the house or hit the home. Some assume that was the police shooting back towards the home. But could I tell you exactly which ones were back and forth? I can't tell you that.
Okay. But you do know for a fact that when those third and fourth officers arrived, that they were not being fired upon, correct?
Okay.
And in fact, the only officers that you observed that were fired upon were the first and second officers. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
And it sounds like you can't say with affinity if Jesse fired any rounds past or in addition to those first two officers. Is that fair?
That's fair. All right.
That's all, Judge. Pass this.
No further questions and may be excused by the state, Your Honor.
Excused.
Yes, Judge.
All right, the rule has been invoked. What that means, you're not allowed to discuss your testimony or review anything concerning this trial until the trial has concluded. If you'll remove the square microphone, please, and your excuse.
Yes, Judge.
I'm sorry, state, call your witness.
State called Officer Santiago Vizcarra.
All right, could you raise your right hand?
Yes, Judge.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so everyone can hear. And if you could state your name and spell your last name, please.
Yes, Judge. Santiago Vizcarra. My last name is spelled Vizcarra.
All right, state, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. And I think I called you officer, but that's not the correct term anymore, is it?
Correct, ma'am. The correct term would be a detective now.
When did you promote to detective?
On December 6th.
So 4 days ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So given that you are now a full-fledged detective, does that mean that you are a certified peace officer in the state of Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
And would you tell the members of the jury a little bit about your training and experience that got you to this point in your career?
Yes, ma'am. So I've been on the San Antonio Police Department now about 9 years. I was on the traffic unit for a short amount of time. I've also worked patrol. And then after patrol, I worked in for our covert response unit, which is sort of, they are specialized in going after violent warrants, narcotics, and retail thefts and things of that nature. I've been over there as a patrolman for about 2 years, and now I'm there as a detective.
And prior to your time with SAPD, do you have any other experience relevant?
Yes, ma'am. I was also in the United States Army. I was in the infantry. I did a total of 6 years.
When did you get out of the army?
I got out in 2017. I was also, while I was on the police department, I served in the National Guard for about a year.
So did your time in the army overlap with your time with SAPD?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
When did you, I'm sorry if I missed it, but what year did you begin with SAPD?
I began in 2016.
So I want to take you back to October 19th of 2023. Were you on duty that day?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And what was your job title at that time?
I was a patrolman on the north side of town.
And what are your duties as a patrolman?
To answer calls for service, to help prevent crime by doing on-site activity, and to, just general patrolling of the sector that you're assigned.
And does that involve responding to calls for assistance that come through 911?
Yes, sir.
And when you say the north side of town, can you give us any kind of approximation of where that is in San Antonio?
I guess it would be considered the section that I was in the northeast side near like Nacogdoches and 1604 Judson area.
And on October 19th of 2023, were you dispatched to the intersection of Alta Puerta and Amistad Pass for a disturbance?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And what was the nature of the disturbance as far as you were made aware of by dispatch?
It was for a family disturbance.
And do you recall the details of that were given to you before you got there?
Yes, a female was calling that her husband was attempting to light their house on fire with gasoline and a torch.
And so what does that tell you as far as your training and experience goes? What does that tell you about how you need to approach this situation?
This would be a more, could possibly turn into a violent situation and an escalated situation. It's not a normal call for service where it's just, I don't want to say normal, but a typical family violence where somebody has hit somebody. It definitely automatically alerted me that this could turn violent very quickly.
At the time, though, before you got there, did you have any idea whether weapons were involved?
I was not sure at the time.
Okay. So, in your training that you went through to become a certified peace officer, do you get taught tactics and proper procedure on how to handle various types of calls, domestic disturbances, mental health issues, violent weapon involved type calls, any number of calls?
Yes, ma'am, we do in the academy. And then after I graduated from the academy and continued training that I took with our covert response unit and stuff that I go into separately so that I could be a better police officer to serve our community.
When you, well, let me ask you this. When you were working that day, were you driving a vehicle that was equipped with a camera system?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And were you also wearing a body camera?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
May I approach the witness? Officer Vizcarra, I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 20 and 21's identification and ask if you recognize those exhibits.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And our State's Exhibits 20 and 21, your body camera and the video from inside your vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we'd like to offer an evidence State's Exhibits 20 and 21.
We've stipulated to this evidence, Judge. We have no objection.
States Exhibits 20 and 21 is admitted without objection.
When you were going to this scene, were you going by yourself or did you have someone with you, another police officer?
There was another officer in a separate vehicle that was going with me.
And do you remember his name?
Nicholas Swain.
Does he go by a different name now?
Yes, he goes by Nicholas Oshery.
Same guy though, right?
Same guy.
Okay. And Oh, that's what I'm sorry. The area that you went to when you responded to this call, was that here in Bear County?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Now, Your Honor, may I publish to the jury States Exhibits 20 and 21?
Yes.
I'm gonna start with States Exhibit 20. I'm gonna pause the video at 2 minutes and 9 seconds. What did we just hear on the video right now?
I asked Officer Audrey if he could smell the gasoline that I could smell.
And for purposes of talking about what happened that day, I'm still gonna refer to him as Officer Swain, since that's what he's referred to in the evidence, okay?
Okay.
So you asked him if he could smell something that you were smelling?
Yes, that's correct.
And what was that again?
It was gasoline.
Okay. And what we're seeing on the camera, if you can look behind you, there's a map marked as States Exhibit 2A. Is that a fair and accurate representation of the area that you responded to that day?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you guys get out of your car, do you start to approach on the house?
Yes, ma'am. I'm attempting to go contact both parties.
And why were you attempting to go contact both parties at that time?
Typically in a family violence situation, we like to get both sides of the story, separate them, and that way we can determine who the aggressor is and who's the victim.
Okay, where's Steve? He's barricaded, is there weapons? He's got guns?
Yes.
Alright, step back.
And
There you go.
there's
Step back. Hey, is there anyone else in the house? What kind of guns does he have? Rifles, handguns? Is he suicidal? Yeah, I'm gonna need some more. This guy has barricaded himself in the house. He's got rifles. He's covered the whole house in gas. Something that can smell it from outside. But supervisor knows as well. I'm gonna try and just pull what I got outside. There's nothing inside with it. This life inside.
What are we watching you do here, Officer Vizcarra?
I'm taking the vest that I normally wear on patrol, which is only will only stop up to a 357 bullet, and putting my rifle rated vest on, which can stop a rifle round, and it also has everything that I need for my rifle if I'm going to deploy.
So the vest that you typically wear on the job won't stop a higher velocity weapon, I suppose.
No, ma'am, it will not.
I need everyone to go inside. Go to your house, go inside.
Who are you yelling?
There was a group of kids playing outside at that time in the cul-de-sac, and I was yelling at them to go inside.
Yeah, can you mark over 320 within 120? We're gonna check on the apartment complex that's been dumping vehicles at 140.
Hey, when y'all start getting here, I'm gonna have the houses next door kind of clear out. And also, I will have to play the message with.
Video at 5:24. So we heard you call over the radio, kind of relating the situation that you have found yourself in and asking for a supervisor and then letting them know you're deploying your rifle. Why, given everything that you know at this point, did you change the tactic from trying to approach and engage with the individuals to backing off and deploying your rifle?
In this type of situation, us trying to contact who I've established as the aggressor can can cause them to do something to cause them to be, I guess, violent. And so what our procedure is to kind of contain what we have and hold what we got. So that way, one, we can prevent any future violence from happening and maybe contact them another way, whether that's through hostage negotiation, calling them, through a supervisor calling them, or using our loudspeaker to talk to them. But really what I'm doing is just creating separation, so that way I don't do anything that's going to agitate the person to do something violent.
And did you know where the individual was when you first arrived on the scene, besides just in the house? Did you know where he was?
No, I did not know where he was.
And you said the word contain. Is there a procedure that you all try to employ in a situation like this?
Yes, it's called the 5 C's. It's contain, control, communicate, call SWAT. And I can't remember what the 5th C is right now. Normally after that, we're
Create a plan.
I believe so. Create a plan. Yes.
And were you trying to follow that procedure in this situation?
Yes, I was trying to follow that procedure. Yes.
And so what is it about the fact that you know that he has access to rifles that means that you should also have access to rifles?
If he had, I don't want to be at a disadvantage where he can come out if he does have a rifle and all I have is a pistol, and he starts shooting. That can leave me at a disadvantage. That can leave other people in the community at a disadvantage, and the houses are so close together. If I need to stop a threat, I need to be able to do it effectively, and a rifle against a pistol is just not effective. And in this situation, this can turn into a mass casualty situation if someone decided to take it that route, because of the proximity of all the houses and the people already outside. And this was a fairly quiet community where that was the norm for people to be walking around and be outside. And I was trying to just prevent that from happening.
And you mentioned also trying to create distance, and I think you said hold the situation. In trying to create that distance, if you were confronted with gunfire from a rifle, is a handgun, the one on your hip, is that as accurate from a distance as your rifle would be?
No, I would be limited in the way I could engage with just a handgun, and from this distance, it would not be feasible to do that. Typically, you want to be within at least 20 meters if you're gonna have to engage somebody with a handgun.
You also, we hear you say on the radio that when your backup arrives, you want to try to clear out the people in the surrounding houses. Why is that?
Due to the circumstances of smelling the gasoline and already knowing that he had a torch, I was not sure if he was still trying to light his house on fire. And what I guess seen is that if the house does go on fire because of the proximity of the other houses, that fire can start spreading to other homes. And I didn't want other people in the surrounding area to get injured from that.
Based on everything that you knew about the situation at that time, could you have left?
No, we could not have left.
You couldn't have just closed up shop and said, he's the guy, I don't know what he's doing, so we're just gonna go.
No, given the circumstances, we have a duty to now make sure that nobody loses their life or that nothing happens.
I'm gonna resume the video.
Hey Swain, go next door. I'm hit.
You've seen this video before, correct, Officer Swain?
Yes, ma'am.
And in watching it, have you been able to kind of ascertain or discern a difference in the cadence between the defendant's gunfire and your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna back it up a minute and ask for you to let the jurors know when we hear your gunfire.
Okay. Have the houses next door kind of clear out, and also I've deployed my search. Hey Swain, go next door. I'm hit. Right there is when I started.
Sorry, I couldn't get my thing to pause. That's you.
Yes, ma'am. That is.
Okay. How is there a way for you to describe that? I guess the difference in the tone.
Yes. The defendant's gunfire was uncontrolled, fast. The way I was returning fire was more of a controlled manner, and being mindful of where my rounds were going.
What was your goal in returning fire?
My goal was just to stop the threat, whatever that meant. If that meant that it just kept him inside and prevented him from shooting us again or coming out and killing us, whatever that was just to stop the threat.
So yeah, can I have the face and shield every now, please? That's what's on your. So, just on your cover. Whatever you just. Yeah, we switched over around with. What about the shots fired? That 260 said that he was hit. I want you to say that we go through.
Swain's hit too.
That you that.
Yeah, I'm bleeding pretty good. Someone could come out well.
That 250 showing that way. 260 out the first and on the south pass.
Where you hit?
Where exactly you at, bro? I haven't got it out the first and on the south pass. 3210, we're right in front of the house.
Hey, lay down support fire if you can.
Boys, what we go? Number one window,
I don't know.
three, 50 showing around closer. Know what's going on, and we're gonna need to extract him so we can start building a plan to get him out of the house, so we can work on that extraction. So yeah, people drive out, they get their ass in a car and pull back, do it that way.
Pause the video. Was your hand struggling to cooperate with you at this point?
Yeah, yes, it was
Where were you shot?
in my upper left arm.
Are you wearing a short sleeve shirt under your jacket?
Yes, and I.
Your Honor, may I ask the witness to remove his jacket so he can show his injury?
Any objection?
No objection.
Yes.
Would you just point to it since it's kind of far away? That indentation that we see in your bicep, was that always there?
No, it was not.
I think you might have dropped the microphone. So could you point to it for me one more time? Just point to it this time. When you got shot right there, were you running?
I was.
So if you had been running slower, where would that have landed?
It would have been center mass.
I'll be off. So my car to grab me. Yeah, this is that's where the mail barricade and stuff is. Hey, that's 30-50 in the car. What's that big?
Help me, please. This way you pull my tourniquet out. Pull that great thing out. It's up. You got it. Around my arm. Top.
You can be scared thing on it.
Can you let me in your house and we lock the door, please? Yeah, thank you.
Rebecca, come over here now.
Yeah.
So go here, right?
Yeah, as high as it can go. Tighten it down. Tighten it as hard as you can. Alright. Alright, now twist that motherfucker. Shit. Oh, fuck. Hey, be up and tell them where I'm at right now. Yeah.
Right there.
He said, hold the air. I'm giving you an address where I'm at.
16319.
But you can win your location? You guys look.
Okay.
Hey, 132, we got one of them. Have you investigated from the corner? Yeah, bro. Alright, which one do we have? We got Swain. Get the tourniquet. That board, do I have anybody advising that 3210? Give it a hit as well. Look, I get somebody in the back seat of our car, we'll grab another one. That board.
3260, did you get my address where I'm at?
That boy, 163.
I'm inside.
What's the on the key card that does? That boy. Hey, 132, where's the next one at? 3260, 16319 Amistad Pass, inside.
Can I lock the door for them?
Yeah, we're going back. Have a shield. Take that copy, you have a shield time, 50 and 1, I'll pass, and 132 miles later, we'll cover that. Yeah, one more, we'll wait up.
No. Fuck.
Hold on, I gotta shield off something, I'll turn around then. I got.
Help! I'm good. She's good. Just get me out of here. Fuck.
Hey, ready to chill, I'm on the way to you.
I'm just hurt. I'm good. Let's get down the car. Like, don't forget my rifle.
Hey, come on, man. You good, man. We're gonna get you around the corner and get back to that. Come on, man. Come on. You're back, man. Go.
Help me, man.
Sorry, baby. Go around. You're good, man. It don't matter about the door, please. You're gonna get you, man. Keep it, man. 16319 Amistad. Go to the EMS where we were. Okay. I don't know if this is about your injury. You gotta go around here, man. Gotta go around here. Stop right here at the ambulance. Stop right here. Hey! I can't open the door. I can't open the door. We gotta go out to the feet side. Open this door. Come on.
No, I can walk. I can walk.
Walk. You can walk. You can walk.
Don't touch that fucking. Fuck.
Keep the ambulance checked out window.
Oh, buddy, where you hit?
Where you are? Okay.
Hey, we got a second one. We got a second one right here.
What?
Where you hit, buddy?
In my arm.
In your arm, okay.
Any more officers here?
No.
They don't think it's coming out.
Hey, I'm just checking it out. No one's here yet. No one's here yet. Hey, how do I get this vest off you, bro?
Where's he gonna work today?
It could be left arm.
Hey, I'm still in the third. We got big comments for you.
We got a lot of people coming, okay?
Was it pumping blood or was it beating blood?
Okay, I'm doing it now. I need to see if it's. Okay,
I need to cut his shirt.
okay, I'm gonna do it.
I'm
Tourniquet.
right now because it's full.
Hey, I'm gonna do it.
What's for? Oh, yeah, come here. Let him come to you. Let him come to you.
No, you know?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, they're gonna take care of you, brother. So cut this off. Cut this off.
There's the plot. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Punch you right there.
Okay.
Got it.
Hey, you wanna put a tourniquet or do I have to believe we're good?
No, but I'm gonna wrap it. I'm gonna put a Israeli bandage.
Okay.
We don't get it.
Okay. Oh, don't move your arm too much, okay? You're gonna do this, you're good, brother. You're good right now, okay, man? Straight through, brother, straight through. It's not bleeding. You're set right now, okay, partner? Yeah, they're gonna hook you up in a minute. Hey, got a lot more guys coming, okay, buddy? You know, work this full footprint, something like rocking around. It's not gonna feel.
We have EMS for 260 and 210. Consider the whole year, clear the house. Are you supposed to clear the house?
Alright, man, it's gonna feel good, okay? I'm sorry, brother, I'm sorry. I gotta keep an eye on you, bro. Yeah. I'm sorry. So it's just a through right here, okay? Not really actively bleeding. He just wants some pain meds. I don't know if we're wrong enough or not.
Show you what's been marked as least three and ask if you recognize it.
Yes, ma'am, I recognize.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of your vest after this incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we'd like to offer no evidence, State's Exhibit 23.
It's stipulated, Judge, no objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 23 is admitted without objection.
And may I publish to the jury the old-fashioned way?
Yes.
Now, Officer Vizcarra, have you ever been shot before?
No, ma'am, I have not.
So was that a different kind of pain than anything you've experienced?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And because you had to fire your weapon in this case, was a use of force, was there a use of force documentation for SAPD records?
Yes, ma'am, there was.
And I guess tell the jury a little bit about that. Is that necessary whenever an officer fires their weapon?
Yes, ma'am. Anytime that we use any force on a civilian, we have to fill out what's called a routine use of force. So that includes any strikes, anytime civilian is injured, or when we fire a weapon.
And when you do one of those forms, does an officer involved shooting investigation take place?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
At least, I guess, when you do one of those forms for firing your weapon.
Yes, ma'am.
And when the officer involved shooting investigation took place with regards to this incident, were you cleared of any wrongdoing in firing your weapon?
Yes, ma'am. I was cleared of any wrongdoing.
Did they have any what's the word, criticism for how you handled the situation until the moment you were fired on?
No, ma'am, they did not.
So was it found that you handled the situation appropriately?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
We see here towards the end of your video that you're getting treated by EMS. Were you ultimately transported to a hospital?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Which hospital were you transported to?
I was transported to BAMC.
And did you receive treatment at BAMC for the gunshot wound to your arm?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And what kind of treatment did you receive?
Just wound care there, and then for the following couple weeks, I had to go back daily for wound care.
Officer Vizcarra, I'm going to show you what's been marked the State's Exhibits 24 and 25, and ask if you recognize them.
Yes, ma'am.
Are these photographs of you in the hospital and your injury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
We'll offer into evidence, Your Honor.
This is also stipulated, Judge, we have no objection.
All right, State's Exhibits 24 and 25 are admitted without objection.
May I publish?
Yes.
What type of recovery did you have to go through for this wound to your arm?
I went to wound care for a few weeks. Then I started physical therapy as well for a few weeks. And that was it.
Okay. So what happened with you as far as your ability to go to work?
I didn't go into work for, I don't recall for the exact amount of time. It was about a month or two. And then I returned to work on light duty while I was going to physical therapy until I was cleared from physical therapy.
And when you came back from light duty, do you remember about how long it was from the time of the shooting when you were cleared to go back to full duty?
Yes, ma'am. I went back in 5 months.
So in those 5 months, what was going on with your arm? Had you lost mobility, lost of grip strength, anything like that?
I had lost some mobility in my arm. My grip strength was not there. I had some nerve pain and numbness to my hand, which I still have. And that was about it.
Okay. And when you went back on full duty, what did your responsibilities entail?
When I went back on full duty, I went back to patrol. So where I was at when the incident had happened, where I was responding to calls and patrolling the north side.
And how long did you do that before you got moved to covert?
I don't recall the exact amount of time, but it was a few months, and then I had gotten asked if I would want to go on special assignment to our covert response unit, which I did take.
I guess because we're still without technology right now, I'm just gonna offer one more video that we'll try to play in a little while. Show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 22 and ask if there are any markings on there you recognize.
Yes, there is.
Okay. And is this State's Exhibit 22 a fair and accurate recording of the defendant shooting at you all when you arrived, but just from a different angle from what we saw on your body cam?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we're going to offer an evidence State's Exhibit 22.
Again, judges with stipulated evidence, we have no objection.
All right, State's Exhibit number 22 is admitted without objection. I'm sorry, off the record. Do y'all want to try maybe to work on the desktop instead of?
I did try that. It's an issue with the screen, so when it's plugged into the HDMI, it's just like nothing is projecting. Even this won't project.
Okay. All right, well, let's do this then. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to probably take a.
And I'll also just go ahead and publish the pictures. So State's Exhibit 23, that's your bloody vest, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And 24 is you in the hospital dancing,
Yes, ma'am.
and 25 is the injury to your arm.
Yes, ma'am.
When this happened, Officer Vizcarra, did you have any children?
Yes, ma'am. My son was 6 years old at the time.
Did he understand what had happened to you?
Not completely.
Did you having to recover from something like this affect him?
Yes, very, very much. So,
how did it affect your son?
my son he doesn't really like going into the city that much anymore. Or when we go to places that's pretty crowded, he gets pretty anxious. And then my first day back, he cried a lot and was begging me not to go to work and to just find a different career. He didn't say it that way, but that's what he was telling me, to not be a police officer anymore.
How did that make you feel?
I mean, it hurt seeing him like that and crying. I have primary custody of him. So between me and my parents, we take care of him. So it was hard to see how it affected him in that manner.
But yet you still chose to go back to work?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Why did you choose to go back to work?
I feel that God's really called me to be in a career and position where I can help others around me in a community that I grew up in. It was just, when I was growing up, it was just me and my mother, and a lot of people in the community helped me when I was growing up, so that I could have a better life, and I feel like that I've achieved that. And I definitely feel called that I want to help others in any way that I can. I've always had a servant's heart, and I've always wanted to. I've always felt like I want to protect others.
Who are you yelling to when you say that?
To Swain, Officer Swain.
Did you realize how severely he had been injured?
Not at that time.
And at this time, because of your injury and the advantage that the defendant had over you, you didn't feel like you could safely go assist Officer Swain.
No, ma'am. You're no good enough in this situation if you're there. And I felt that if I went to an open area and then I was killed, then Swain would for sure be killed as well.
So Officer Swain had to lie there until other officers were able to come help him.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what we're gonna see on the remainder of this video, him lying there while he waits for help. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. All right. Now, you mentioned that this had quite a heavy effect on your son, but I don't think I got to the effects that it had on you.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell the jury about that.
It impacted me mentally a lot. I had a few panic attacks in some grocery stores. I'm a disabled veteran as well from a combat deployment, and luckily I had the VA that I could go to. So about a week after this, I did do that to seek mental health help. And I still see a counselor every 3 months just to keep up with that, because that's an important part of being a father and just a functioning person in society, is to make sure that I'm okay and that I can still function in those capacities. It still affects my sleep. I still have ghost pain in that arm and some issues with the hand, but by the grace of God, I'm still functioning and doing well.
And you mentioned that you were your mother's only child.
Yes, ma'am. I'm my mom's only son as well. We don't have any other family really. That's from my actual dad's side, but it's just her and I.
So this affected her at all?
Yes, ma'am. A lot. Unfortunately, October was also the same month my father passed away, so October is a hard month for her. And then having to see the effects that it's had on me and my son, I know it affects her a lot. But she's a strong woman. She's been there for us as much as she can.
So at the end of all of this, what would you like the jury to know about what you want to see happen to this man that shot you?
I would like for y'all to do what you think the maximum punishment should be for him. That's for y'all to decide what that is. It has affected my family a lot. I know it's affected Officer Swain's family a lot. Whatever y'all see fit as the maximum punishment is what I'm okay with.
Defense.
Thank you, Judge. Officer Vizcarra, I got to meet you during a break for the very first time personally, correct? The first time we met today?
Yes, sir.
Right. I am sorry you went through this. Nobody is happy about that. I only have a few questions for you, okay?
Yes.
All right. Part of your training is that you have to deal with mental health calls, right? You know, what do you learn about people that are having issues and how to deal with them as a police officer?
In what sense, sir? I'm sorry. I'm not
When you come on a call and somebody might be, depressed or suicidal or, not in the right frame of mind. I mean, you all have in your manuals, you get training on that situation, correct?
Yes, sir, we do. We go through a CRT course as well, or CIT, excuse me, crisis intervention training. Every officer with SAPD goes through it, which is a 40-hour class, I believe.
Okay, now, generally, do you see a mental health call or a call where mental health issues are involved in the call the same as when you have repeat offender or people with long criminal histories going out and doing stuff gang related or drug related, or is it the same category for you, or is there a big difference between the two?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, so, I mean, you get a lot of tactical training. But like in 23, I think there was a big change where there was an issue with cop shootings and mentally ill people. And in 23, wasn't there a big change or a big addendum to some of the policies?
I'm not really sure if there was a big change in policy in 23. I do know that I believe that we're one of the best departments as far as it comes to training with dealing with mental health situations that are mental health individuals.
Okay, and I guess like one of the general questions is, this is suburbia, nice area where there's probably not the amount of crime as in some of San Antonio's rough areas. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Have you patrolled in some of the rough areas of San Antonio as well?
Yes, sir, I have.
I guess one of my general questions, and it's more along the philosophical level, have you had to deal with habitual offenders, people that have long violent histories, people that have long criminal records, people who have hurt a lot of people in their life?
Yes, sir, I have.
And then have you had the occasion to deal with people that have no criminal history, but could be experiencing some level of mental health crisis?
Yes, sir, I have.
I guess my question as a generality to you is, do you view those categories the same, or is there a difference between the two?
No, sir, typically there's a difference.
And how would you describe it personally?
When someone's in mental health crisis, typically what we are you asking how I would handle the difference?
I'm actually wondering more philosophically in comparing the two, where if you have somebody with no criminal history who might snap or be severely depressed or have a mental breakdown that causes them to behave completely out of character, compared to somebody who could be a habitual offender or somebody with a long violent history or somebody who's been causing problems for many, many years. That philosophically, as a police officer who's out on the street who has to deal with all this kind of stuff, is there a big difference between those two?
As you gain more information on what you're dealing with, yes, potentially. But typically, when we're getting called for service, we don't know what we're walking into. We don't know who we're about to approach. So I don't know if it's somebody that's has a lengthy criminal history at first. Sometimes I do. A lot of times we don't. Or if we're approaching somebody with, just having a mental health crisis that has no criminal history. But I won't be able to normally establish that difference until I've at least contacted, whatever parties are involved.
Okay. Do you feel as though mental health issues are mitigating in punishment, generally, philosophically, since the prosecutor was asking you questions about punishment?
Does it mitigate punishment?
Like in your mind, personally, they ask you opinions about punishment. I'm asking you some too.
No, I think punishment should be appropriate with the action, not necessarily history or whatever. Or if there's any criminal history or not. It's dependent on the action. I believe that's how the state looks at it most of the time.
Okay. So just to kind of clarify, you don't think lack of criminal history is mitigating, or if a person is having mental health issues, that's not necessarily mitigating, it's just the offense only, personally?
Depending on the crime, yes.
Okay. All right. Just a couple of follow-up questions about what we observed in the videotape. What kind of rifle are you using in the video?
I'm using an AR-15, which shoots a 223 or 5.56.
Okay. Is it your understanding that the rifle used against you was also an AR-15?
Yes.
There does seem to be different sounds on the videos. It sounds like your body cam probably captures it most accurately, I guess. The Ring cameras are very tingy. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Is the reason that two similar models of rifle seem to be making a different sound, is it just oftentimes because of the barrel or the
it could be barrel length, it could be if there was, I mean, multiple things could be a factor. The distance that you're hearing the rifle, you know, from where the original sound is coming from, the actual round that's being used on the grain of the round, or if there's a suppressor on the rifle itself. Sometimes even the, I guess, the how fast or slow the rifle is being cycled through can affect the sound as well.
Okay. Now, you did tell the jury that you had met with the prosecutor and you went over the time frame and the sounds to figure out like what shots were yours and what shots were Mr. Prado's, right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think it came out in direct examination, so I'm trying to see if we can clarify it. Obviously, we hear shots and we see you go down. Those are the first shots fired, right?
Yes.
Okay, those came from Mr. Prado, correct?
Yes.
That was you getting hit in the arm and we see you fall to the ground. And that's the first set of shots that we hear. That's all him, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then you hear another quick set of shots, multiple shots. That was when Officer Swain got hit, correct?
Yes.
All right. After that, because that happened in a matter of a few seconds, right?
Yes.
All right. Are the remaining shots we've heard on those videos, are those your suppression shots where you're creating cover and trying to protect you and Officer Swain?
Yes, sir. Those are my directed shots.
All right. So because it didn't come out in direct, is that what the video seemed to show in your perspective, that there was the series of shots where you got shot in the arm, and that was for Mr. Prado. There was a series of shots where Officer Swain got hit. That was Mr. Prado. And then the remaining shots that do have that consistent pa, 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 pa sound, all those other remaining shots were you trying to make sure that you and Officer Swain were protected until y'all could be extracted.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you know how many rounds you shot? Because that all has to be documented, right?
Yes, sir. But it does have to be documented.
Do you know how many rounds you shot?
I believe approximately 42.
Okay. But you didn't hear any other shots besides those two initial series come from Mr. Prado. Is that correct?
Yes.
One last point. On direct examination, you just mentioned the fact that like perception was important in your training, and that like a lot of times you go to a house for a regular domestic call, you find that it might be more serious. You follow the 5C rule. That was one of the things you do, right?
Yes.
One of the things you talked about is that you don't want to seem overly aggressive to people that might be having difficulties or barricading themselves in situations like that, or mental cases too.
I don't want to take actions that will seem aggressive to them, correct?
And like, and I'm asking this question very technically because I understand you did the review, and by the videos, there wasn't much you could do about getting shot the way the circumstances are. But my question is this: is one of the things that you're talking about, like pulling out your long gun from the trunk, if somebody sees that, they could perceive that as being aggressive because you have a pistol on your belt, and without even talking to somebody, if they see you pull out a long rifle, that could be intimidating to somebody or threatening to somebody, especially if they're not in the right state of mind. Factually, you would agree with that, right?
No.
You don't think that somebody seeing you pull out a rifle could be perceived by them as aggressive?
If rifles are already introduced into the situation, no.
Well, I mean, you haven't seen a rifle at this point, right?
I have not seen one, no.
Right. Okay. I'm not trying to make the question complicated. You talked about just the perception of people. I mean, you have a lot of training, and most police officers have a lot of tactical training and gun training, correct?
Yes.
And part of the mental health training you get is that, yes, you don't want to be overly aggressive to people. You don't want to appear overly aggressive to people. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And so what I'm saying is, I'm not saying whether you violated policy or what you did wouldn't be appropriate, based on what you know. I'm saying, is it possible that pulling out your AR-15 could be seen as somebody as like oh, God, he pulled an AR-15 on me. Could you see how somebody could perceive it that way?
Possible.
Okay, and again, there's also a big difference when you have a rifle pointed at the ground. It's less threatening than when you have a rifle up or you have it on a hood and now it's pointed at, a person's house. And again, I'm not talking about your training. I know it was okay under your training. I'm simply asking, is that the kind of thing that could be perceived as threatening if an AR-15 is now on a police officer's hood that a person's never met before, pointed at their house?
Yes.
Okay. And again, that's not violation of your training. It's just possible perception, which is something that admittedly you're trained on.
Yes.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have for you, officer. Thank you.
Yes.
We don't have anything further, Your Honor.
Is the witness excused or subject for recall?
I would say excused.
Excuse for me, Judge.
All right, the rule has been invoked. That means you're not allowed to discuss your testimony or review anything about this trial until the trial is concluded. All right, thank you. If you'll leave the square.